Is it reasonable to worship God? Is it reasonable for God to require worship? And even on the other hand, is it reasonable for mankind to comply? Is it reasonable to worship God? In a previous video, I do define worship as ascribing worth to something. So the question is it reasonable for God to require worship? And even on the other hand, is it reasonable for mankind to comply? Let's talk about it today on Justified by Score. To answer this first, we need to define what reasonable is. For anything to be reasonable, one must have a good reason for it. So, for what reason would be enough to require people to worship God? I think I may have a good answer for that. But we are going to have to start at the beginning. All of the evidence points towards the universe having a beginning. Time, space, and matter are correlative. That means all of it had to come into existence simultaneously. If you had matter, but no space, where would it be? If you had space, but no time, when would it be? From there, we only have two possible options. One, nothing caused the universe to come into existence. Or two, something caused the universe to come into existence. Most scientists believe that the universe began from nothing. The problem with that is it's not scientific. In order for anything to be scientific, it has to be reproducible or historical, which means you have to be able to reproduce its occurrence, or it has to be historical, which means someone has had to have witnessed it. Something starting from nothing is not reproducible, nor has anyone ever witnessed it. Under the current major theory, that theory would have you believe that all of life, everything as we know it, came from non-life, and that all evolved in what is known as macroevolution. I want to borrow an acronym from Frank Turek to debunk this. Life, L-I-F-E. The L in life stands for limited ability to change. Dog breeders attempt to breed different types of dogs, but they are still only limited to reproducing dogs. They have never adjusted DNA enough to produce a different species. It has never been reproduced, nor has it ever been witnessed. So if we, as intelligent individuals, don't have the ability to change DNA structure to get different species, why do we think that a non-intelligent structure like evolution can produce something greater than we can? The L stands for limited ability to change. The I stands for irreducible complexities. Let us use humans as an example. The complexities of the human structure cannot be reproduced separately. The I is so complex that there's no way it could have developed without all of its parts and complexities already in existence. The F is for the fossil record. The fossil record reveals that it is not small changes over time as some would have you believe. The Cambrian explosion provides evidence contrary to macroevolution's stance and theory. Finally, the E in life, epigenetic information. Epigenetic information is the hardware in which the cell already has. Attempting to change the epigenetic information is detrimental to the cell, which in turn would destroy it. This makes it impossible, not possible for macroevolution to be true. So sure, we see small changes within species, which is considered microevolution, but we have never seen one species develop into another. Also, a side note, remember that science doesn't say anything. Scientists do. The evidence, all of the evidence points to a designer, someone causing everything to come into existence. If this is true and the universe has a designer, that designer has to exist outside of time, space, and matter in order to cause time, space, and matter to come into existence. That designer would also then have to be powerful, powerful enough to be able to design the entire universe. It would have to be intelligent to be able to design in order. That designer would also have to be personal in order to choose to create. And a being of this quality, if a being of this quality existed and is responsible for all of existence, I believe it would be logically consistent and reasonable for that being to be prescribed or ascribed worship. But that is just my opinion. And this has been another episode of Justified by Score. If you disagree with anything that I have said, let's have the conversation. And until next time, Lord willing, of course, peace and grace.